Amy Rose. Originally nicknamed Rosie the Rascal, she was first introduced in 1993's Sonic the Hedgehog CD. Yes, I know what you're all saying. We already know that. It's true. We all know her as Sonic's annoying fangirl who has an obsessive love for Sonic and chases after him. But exactly how much do we really know Amy Rose? In the original manual for Sonic CD, it states that not much is known about Amy's early life, except that she always loved fortunes and other mystical things like tarot card reading. And it was through this that she found out that Sonic is her destined soulmate. But why is she so obsessed with Sonic the Hedgehog? Since Sonic doesn't love her the same way, could it be that she read the tarot cards wrong? Has she been chasing the wrong hedgehog all this time? Or could there be something much darker and disturbing going on inside Amy's head? Could she be suffering from a mental disorder like erotomania? Erotomania is a type of delusion in which the affected person believes that another person, usually a stranger, high status, or famous person, is in love with them. The illness often occurs in patients with schizophrenia, delusional disorder, or bipolar mania. As crazy as this sounds, there's actually a lot of information throughout the Sonic series that backs this theory up. And today, a good friend who's involved in the Sonic community will be joining me to discuss the dark and sad truth about Amy Rose. Also, we will be drawing all our sources from the main canon Sonic games. No Archie comics or spin-offs will be used in this discussion, and Sonic Boom will only be used as a comparison. I hope this video will help all of you see things in a different light, and this video is not meant to ridicule the Sonic and Amy fanbase in any way, as I have some friends that are hardcore Sonic and Amy shippers. But after watching lots of game theories videos about Mario and the many secrets of that franchise, if something that's so simple and light on plot can open up all these discussions and debates, how much more the Sonic series, which has 10 times the amount of story and plot? So I hope you all enjoy this video, and hit that like button and share this if you want to see more theories about the Sonic universe. Alright everyone, now this is a discussion segment about Amy Rose, and today I'm joined by a special guest. Mind introducing yourself?
Hey, what's up guys? My name is Husky. Thanks for having me here.
Alright, hey, what's up? Alright, so there's a lot of things we gotta discuss here now that I mentioned in the introduction, because now I know all of you listening to this are like, you gotta explain yourself now, gamer guy. So first, let's go all the way back to the origins. Why is Amy Rose obsessed with Sonic the Hedgehog? Now, I don't know if a lot of people are aware of this, but there was a manual, Japanese manual to Sonic CD. And I'm not sure, was it in the original version, Silver?
I'm not really sure. I can't tell you for sure. Like, I'm gonna have to look it up really quick right now. But like, I can only tell you from what I read in the HD version. I was recently playing it, and I was like, wait a minute, they have the instructions here. But I'm pretty sure, the instructions are pretty accurate, because remember in the US version there was a mistranslation where Amy was mistakenly known as Sally for some reason. So yeah. I'm taking this as legit, like, because like, you know, it's like Christian Whitehead did a great job on this remake, and I'm pretty sure he knows his shit. So I can say that this is pretty accurate to her backstory regarding like what Sega said officially.
But I never played Sonic CD until like way later in the future. I didn't even know the game existed in the 90s. But
I played it on Gems Collection. I played the port on the GameCube. That's the first time I played it. I never finished it. Then I played it on emulator, finished it, and then I played it on the HD version like multiple times. It's my favorite Sonic of all time.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, so like when I played the remake by Christian Whitehead and all that, in the manual it says that not much is known about Amy's early life, except that she had always loved fortunes and other mystical things. By the way, I'm quoting from this. It says, and that she practiced some of it using her own tarot cards. At some point, she learned about Sonic the Hedgehog, who became her biggest hero and eventually the one she wanted to marry. Now, it says that, it basically suggests here that Amy predicted from her tarot cards that she would have a destined encounter with Sonic on the small satellite known as Little Planet. So this basically answers the question, did she already hear of Sonic? Because the reason why I said in my introduction that she might be suffering from erotomania is because erotomania is basically a disorder, mental disorder. It basically, you suffer from a delusion that you believe that someone who is famous or someone who's important, someone that you know already, is in love with you. And to back this up,
Yeah.
it actually exists. My sister actually dated this one guy. I won't name names, but he actually was a victim of erotomania. All of you know the actress Natalie Portman, who played Padme Amidala in Star Wars. But this guy was convinced that Natalie Portman was in love with him, and she loved him. So, and then many times my sister was like, "Whoa, you got to be crazy! Like, you seriously? She doesn't even know you. She's famous." But he was convinced, and and sometimes he'll have his episodes of his like his manic behavior. One time he just woke up and he's like, "I gotta go meet her." So then he drove all the way from the Midwest. He tried to drive to Hollywood and he got lost. Then he started like walking around and crazy until like the cops pulled him over. But basically, to make the long story short, until like he took his pills, he realized that, wow, I have a serious issue. I actually think this woman doesn't know me, loves me. So that's the realistic version of erotomania. So I'm not saying that Sonic is an adult, but like these are written by adults, and it's very likely.
This came officially from Sonic Team. Like this I'm pretty sure it came from Sonic Team. I can't 100. Oh, I can say 100% because again, I trust this remake and Sega published it. So really, I think it's really accurate, more accurate than the official version, than the release version, which again mistake her from to Amy to Sally, which was a weird thing. I don't know why they did that, but But it's like what Gamer just said there, like it's pretty similar to Amy's case, and we're just gonna talk about that. So yeah.
In Sonic's world, at this point, like this is like the third Sonic game after Sonic 1 and 2. He's pretty much known and famous around whatever you want to call it, Mobius or whatever, his world. That he saves the environment, he saves little animals and nature from Dr. Eggman or Dr. Robotnik.
And to back it up, I think some fact or proof that is like Amy's hairstyle in the game. Like if you notice, she looks like Sonic, and I think I always thought that she did that on purpose. I think her
could be
to look like. I don't know. I'm not saying. I'm not saying that it's 100% fact, but I'm pretty sure because like she looks a lot like Sonic, and they never used this design later on. And you might be saying, well, I guess they just wanted to make a hedgehog-like character, and they didn't know how to make another hedgehog and stuff, but it's still, it's just something interesting to think about with her hairstyle.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of characters that have redesigns, but that's actually a good theory. So that makes me assume that she already is familiar with Sonic the Hedgehog, and like, okay, sure, she did tarot card reading and mystic cards, but like she did it herself. It like there's no way, it's never stated in any of the feature games that she's proficient or she's a good like fortune teller or tarot card reader. So
aside from this game,
yeah, except in that game. So most likely she basically, what's that word? She made herself to be destined to Sonic the Hedgehog. She set her own fortune, if you guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah, she basically made her own fortune, to believe that she loved Sonic, and I guess in a way she was kind of lonely. She wanted some love or something. And I guess she made up her own fortune, and then when Little Planet appeared in Lake something, I don't remember the name, it was like a lake thing or whatever. It's just like Little Planet appears every year on this lake. I don't remember the name, but it's just this lake, and Sonic knew about it, and I guess Sonic was gonna visit it, and then he saw how roboticized, and I guess Amy saw Sonic, and he just took the chance.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And so that's the main point. So that's the origin of Amy. Now there's a lot of games, and like if you guys still don't believe us, there's a lot of cutscenes throughout like the whole 3 Sonic games where it's evident that she's very obsessive. So you want to talk about those?
All right. Well, there's this one scene in Sonic 06 where this is a huge thing that can actually prove that she's obsessed with him. There was this one quote she said when she stopped Silver from killing Sonic, and Silver told her that Sonic would destroy the world and stuff, and she was like, Sonic would never do that, and he was like, and they just kept talking, and at one point she said, well, if I had to choose the world over Sonic, I would choose Sonic. I was like, wait, what? What the heck? The heck's going on?
Like, there's a lot of Amy fans that want to be like, oh, what she said was very brave, but since the game came out when I was like 16. Since I saw it, I was like, wow, that's crazy. You would choose so.
I know someone's gonna bring up in the comments that she basically couldn't believe it, and she just said that out of love. But this is kind of weird. Like, I mean, if I loved the girl and shit, I don't think I would choose the world. I mean, I really love her and stuff, but I don't like if it really died to the point that the world would end. Like, I don't know if I would choose her over the world. Don't know that. Some people are gonna bring up love and stuff, but it's just like, I don't know. just kind of weird, her saying that she would choose the world over Sonic. That's insane. I mean, Sonic World, the world, my bad.
And then also the footage of Sonic Heroes. I forgot, was it that one where she said, "This way, there's no way out of marrying me"? Or
yeah, there's no way out of marrying. Yeah, that was the rival. That was the fight cutscene before you fight Team Rose. This time there's no way out of marrying me.
Yeah, now I know she's used for comic relief, but like you know, when was the last time you guys see a girl propose to a guy or expect him to marry her? It's not just that Amy is infatuated or like she loves Sonic. Like she thinks the feelings is mutual. So she's like, "Oh yeah, Sonic, there's no way out of marrying me," and Sonic's like, "What?" So yeah. And also, would you like to talk about the part where she breaks Sonic out of prison?
Yeah. Okay. This was the scene in Sonic Adventure 2 where she basically Tails helps her get inside gun and shit and basically free Sonic from the prison and stuff. Well, she frees him and shit, and she basically tells him that she'll free him if he marries her. And like, wait, what? Like, so that's another evident thing there where she's obsessed that she wants to marry him so bad that she will say that, and, you know, and she still does. I mean, she still releases Sonic and stuff. I don't think she would go yonder and shit. That would be kind of weird. Like, you're like, oh, I'm not gonna release you now, but you know. It's just another quote from the games.
Another point to prove our theory. Like, if she loves Sonic so much, like, if you love someone so much, wouldn't you be able to recognize them anywhere from a distance? Like, repeatedly in the Sonic games, she continues confusing another character for Sonic.
She's done this twice. She's done this twice in the entire franchise. She did it.
She did three times,
one
actually.
scene. Yeah. 3 times?
Yeah. She confused Shadow for Sonic, confused Silver, and confused the Werehog for Sonic, which can be a little excusable, but it's still Werehog.
Yeah, I guess the Werehog, but to be fair, the Werehog does kind of look a little like Sonic with his quills and shit. But like Shadow and Silver are really hard to confuse up with, and then people are gonna bring up the argument, well, in SN2, people confuse Shadow for Sonic. I'm like, well, I mean, to be fair, like when we saw Shadow, it was at night and shit, even though you could still see. But still, I still think that it was bright day and you could see, and she saw him from the back, not from his face, because people were confusing his face, because face is kind of similar to Sonic in a way. And she hugged him from the back. She just said, "Hey, Sonic," and she just hugged him like nothing. Like, wait, like just in case some people's gonna bring up that argument. And same with Silver, you know, she hugged him from the back too. It was like, she confused them twice, and they look nothing like Sonic.
And she's the only character that has confused a character for Sonic, you know. So I know people want to call her stupid and dumb, but I think it's a lot deeper than that.
Yeah.
Because like we've seen like Amy's not a dumb character like several times. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to
how
that.
she really comes into her own. But yeah.
Right now.
And okay, the next point here is you said, well, you can talk about this part, Sonic's death.
Sonic's death. Okay, this Sonic's death. Well, this happened twice. It happened in Sonic 06 and it happened in Sonic Adventure. But in Sonic Adventure 2, it basically backs our claims more, because like Sonic says this one quote from the game, and like when Eggman encapsulates Sonic in this basically this bomb or whatever the hell's gonna happen, and he basically tells Tails, like, you know, to take care of yourself, and then he tells Amy in this really weird voice, like Amy. Take care of yourself. Like, as in, like, it's like he's making her sound like she's crazy or something. I always found that weird, even as a kid.
Yeah, because he doesn't say that to Tails, and Tails is the youngest.
Yeah, I always found that weird as a kid, that he said it in such a way, and then he just died. So, and of course, Amy got depressed, but you know, but that was my main point. Like that one quote, you know, you like it's kind of ambiguous, but still, I can still think that, you know, Sonic made her sound as if she was crazy, you know, and so, I don't know.
And, I mean, this is kind of a weak point, because, I mean, who wouldn't be sad? But, I mean, in Sonic 06, yes, I mean, for example, when Sonic was killed by Manflix, like, everyone was sad, yeah, everyone was kind, but Amy was the most hysterical, you know?
Yeah, I'm mostly talking about the quote. I'm mostly just talking about the quote that Sonic told her. Like, he said it in such an odd voice. He just said it in such a, like, sarcastic or kind of weird voice, like, Amy, take care of yourself. You know?
Yeah, and I think Sonic 06 kind of proves that, because, like, I think Amy would seriously go crazy if Sonic was gone for good, because, like, you saw how, like, she was just crying, like, like, you know?
She would probably go crazy and kill all the Sonic characters.
Yeah, like she was really hysterical. Like that part was always, the saddest part for me when I saw that cutscene in Sonic 06. But yeah, like at that point, like Amy wanted to do anything to make sure Sonic was back to normal, like bring Sonic back to fight, even if that meant at least kissing him.
Yeah, but, pretty much.
Yeah. So,
oh, now that you brought up Elise, oh my god, how could we forget about Elise? Like, she would do anything for Sonic, that she would watch another girl kiss Sonic.
Yeah, see, she knew that would bring Sonic back, and she was willing. Like just like what she said earlier in the show or the game, I would choose Sonic over the world if that meant watching another woman kiss Sonic, even if it's a human being.
She would do it. She would do it, to save his life and shit.
And another thing that also supports her erotomania is her violent tendencies against Sonic. Now, you would think someone who loves someone would not be violent towards them if Sonic even bats an eye at someone else.
And okay, I'm gonna bring up a few examples here. Like, there was this one cutscene in Sonic Riders where Sonic basically does his tornado thing, and then he and Eggman and Amy gets carried from the tornado, and then as they were gonna leave, she got like Sonic, and then she got really mad and started hitting him with a hammer or something. And to be fair, I mean, yeah, it was kind of a dickish move with Sonic doing that, but there was another scene like when in Sonic Generations, like I kind of forgot to tell you this, but in Sonic Generations, when you finish the game, you see Amy pushing Knuckles into a wall. But she gets really violent, like either with Sonic or his friends when they say something bad about Sonic or something.
Yeah, I know it's used for slapstick because especially like in anime, like it's always cute to see like a girl or whatever when she gets mad and then she hits the boy or slaps him. But like with Amy, it well, I mean in anime, it's usually when the guy and the girl they both dig each other or whatever. But in Sonic's case, he doesn't love Amy that way.
He doesn't like her at all. Sonic actually is kind of creeped out by her if you play the games. Not counting Boom.
And that is the side effects of having erotomania. That's one of the symptoms. People, you get bipolar mania, which like you might be happy, but then you become violent. Like that guy I told you before, who was like obsessed with Natalie Portman. When the cops were trying to arrest him because he was walking around half naked or whatever, like he started resisting arrest. He was getting mad because he's like, you guys are preventing me from reuniting with my love, and they're like, he's crazy. So it's kind of like with Amy, it's like like anything that gets in the way. Like even in Sonic Riders, I forgot. I think it's that Albatross guy or the big guy when he got in the way of Amy following Sonic. Amy whacked him with the hammer.
Yeah, I forgot about that scene, but yeah.
Amy is no weakling, like especially if Sonic is at stake. If anything comes between her and Sonic, she will pulverize you, with her hammer.
Yeah, she would do anything for Sonic. It's ridiculous.
So, and then another thing, yeah, well, okay, her hugging Sonic and Sonic CD. Well, that one's funny because in the game, like you literally can't break out of it. You have to like jump up, but yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, you gotta jump up and stuff. And I guess that's when Sonic met Amy, and we can't say much because it's really ambiguous and it was a game. So if it was like an anime or a cartoon or anything, we could probably tell what she was doing. But from what we can gather and from the game, I guess it depends on which stage, because she can appear in Palm Tree Panic after this shows how much I played that game. But she can show up in that stage, and I guess that's the first time Sonic meets her and stuff. And I guess Sonic is kind of creeped out, like, who the heck is this chick? And she's like hugging him, like, and stuff, like, what the heck? And then Sonic has to save her because, I mean, Sonic is a hero and shit, and he doesn't want to, he has to save her. It's just something that Sonic does, And then when he saves her, she keeps hugging him and stuff. And if you watch the Sonic Boom anime cutscene at the end, you see Sonic leaving her there with her eyes closed and running away, So that's another thing.
Yeah, like technically, they're not even friends. Sonic just keeps her around because, like I said before, I think deep down inside Sonic, he knows that if he were to abandon Amy, Amy would become very depressed and lonely. So Sonic kind of keeps her sane.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, he kind of does. Like when you really think about it, he really does keep Amy sane. You would think Sonic would just run away or never talk to her again or avoid her at all costs. But Sonic keeps her around. Like Amy's there in one way or another, even if he knows he has to save her. Because that's just Sonic's character. He likes to help people.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he likes to. And now let's compare Sonic Team Amy with Sonic Boom, because that's one of the great things I like about Sonic Boom. So Sonic Boom is there's nothing different about Amy's character in Sonic Boom. It's just Amy without the erotomania. So if you take away that whole mental disorder from Amy in the main Sonic games, she's actually a really strong character. And like you see in Sonic Boom,
and it's implied that Sonic likes her.
Yeah, in the Sonic Boom universe, Amy's a very independent woman or independent girl, whatever. And even
she's really likable. I like that.
Yeah, she's strong, brave, and everything. And in that universe, Sonic does like her, and the feeling is mutual. It's just they're too afraid to admit it.
He even defends her at times in some of the episodes.
Yeah, exactly. It's just he's too afraid to admit it. Kind of like in that one episode. I think it's episode 3. I forgot the robot. They translate this. Yeah, the name of the episode. And I like that one because in that one, Amy is actually modest. Like, she doesn't want Sonic to know, which is completely different from the Amy in the Sonic Team games, who like tells the whole world, "I love Sonic. He's going to marry me." You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
The point is, like, when she's by herself, like, she gets the job done. Like, she's, you know, she can be brave. She actually helps change some characters too. Like, you know,
she changed 2 major characters in the whole franchise. Well, Shadow, like she's the recent Shadow, in Sonic Adventure 2, changed his mind. He's like, wait a minute. She reminded of Shadow of Maria. You know, his last promise to Maria, like, I gotta save humanity. I gotta give them a chance. And it's just like, wait a minute, and whoa, and she's done that. Like, she's done that a lot. You know, like, she's done it twice. That's why I don't hate her character, because she's done some good things, and that's why her character can shine when she's not obsessed by Sonic. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, if she would just focus on that and focus on having a lot of friends other than just, you know,
Cream and Big.
Sonic. I mean, she has Cream and Big, but you know,
but Cream's barely there.
yeah, really. So it's kind of funny. So yeah. So in conclusion, I mean, I think we pretty much discussed about all the main things about Amy. I mean, in the later games, like you know, Lost World, like, you know, like, her character wasn't there much, so she really didn't.
But she was only there for like 2 cutscenes, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, Amy is really the saddest character in the Sonic universe if you think about it. You know?
Yeah, when you really think about it, Amy is really the saddest character there. Like, she always has this kind of upbeat thing, but in a way she's kind of sad. She's lonely, and Sonic just keeps her sane. You know, he keeps her, you know, sane, and doesn't keep her from going really crazy. You know, and that's kind of sad when you really think about it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Like, when you can look at these, you know, games or stories that are, you know, originally aimed for children, you can see them in different light.
Yeah, make topics and discussions off.
Exactly, like, you know, and that's what game theory does for Mario, and, you know, and some of it can be backed up, and some of it, you know, is theory. Like, this is theory, but it could be backed up too, because, you know, it's just like, because, like, people who study psychology.
And some of these points, you gotta remember, guys, that some of these points are a little ambiguous too. Like, you know, you can argue that, you know, Sonic Team, you know, just wrote it like this, or they just forgot about this, or some shit like that. But, you know, it's just interesting to think about, you know.
Yeah, it's always good to draw your own conclusions. It's kind of like in Beauty and the Beast, which, you know, a tale as old as time. But, you know, like Belle, you know, like, psychologists come to the conclusion that she suffers from Stockholm syndrome. You know, like, I won't get into that, but it's like how she's held captive as she ends up falling in love with her captor. You know, so yeah, so it's really weird when you get into the psyche of these characters, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to talk about. It's good to have topics about it.
Yeah, I say for me, I really appreciate Amy's character more now that Sonic Boom came out, and that's what made me start comparing the two, because I'm like, wait, she's not like that. Like okay, like when you saw the first episode of Sonic Boom, like she kind of reminded you of the same Amy, but as the show continues, she actually develops her character, which is not that different from the one in Sonic Team, except like this one has more focus to her.
She's more of a leader, and it's like they took the scene from Sonic Adventure 2 and they made it more like they fleshed it out more. Like, they just took hey, let's take this, what happened in this game, and let's flesh it out more and see how her character would be like if she was more like this.
Yeah, there's no need to say it, Amy, because we all know that actions speak louder than words. In conclusion, even though Amy Rose is delusionally in love with Sonic, in a way, they still both need each other. Sonic's presence helps keep Amy sane, and in her rarest moments, Amy sometimes changes the morality of some villainous characters from hurting or killing Sonic. Sega knew what they were doing when they created her character, and even though a lot of people may hate her, or get annoyed of her personality, there's something very sympathetic and charming about Amy's faithful devotion to Sonic the Hedgehog.